Hello. Today I'm going to talk about dynamics in scales and how you can practice 5 different dynamics using scales, and Czerny's description of dynamics. Czerny was a pupil of Beethoven, and in my book Scales for Guitar by Johann Kaspar Mertz, I write down some of Czerny's information about practicing scales. He writes that we can use 5 different dynamics, and I'm just going to read his description for each dynamic. So we have 5 dynamics: pianissimo, piano, mezza voce or mezza forte, forte, and fortissimo. So pianissimo indicates the gentlest touching of the strings, or he says keys, so however as not to become indistinct or inaudible. It bears the character of secrecy, mystery, and when executed with the utmost perfection, it is capable of producing on the hearer the pleasing effect of music at a great distance, or of an echo. So we can practice a scale, pianissimo. So I'm going to use the scale that I have in my scales book by Johann Kaspar Mertz, just in C major. It's just a 2-octave scale. Here we go. So pianissimo. So it might help to think of some of the things that Czerny wrote about, some of the characteristics like secrecy and mystery, having a pleasing effect of music at a great distance or of an echo. However, we don't want it to be indistinct or inaudible. The next dynamic is the piano. So this is obviously just a step above pianissimo. Czerny writes, loveliness, softness, tranquil equanimity, or quiet sorrow manifest themselves by the still, soft, and tender, though yet somewhat firm and expressive mode of touch with which the strings are to be struck. So loveliness, softness, tranquil equanimity, quiet sorrow. Now to mezza voce or mezzo forte. This degree lies exactly in the middle between soft and loud, and may be compared to the tranquil speaking tone used in narration, and without descending into a whisper or declaiming in a loud tone, it will interest us more by the matter to be played than by the style of the performance. So mezzo forte. Now forte. Forte denotes the expression of self-sufficing firmness and power without excess or presumption, passion within the limits of proper dignity, as also, according to rule, whatever is brilliant and showy may be executed with this degree of power. So forte. Finally, fortissimo. The highest degree of force must always rest within the limits of what is beautiful, and never be allowed to degenerate in a coarse thumping or ill treatment of the instrument. Within these bounds, it expresses the exaltation of joy or ecstasy, or grief to rage, just as it also elevates what is brilliant to absolute splendor and bravura. So fortissimo. Okay, so now I'm going to play all 5 dynamics: pianissimo, piano, mezza voce, Forte and Fortissimo. And in my book, Scales by Johann Kaspar Mertz, I actually have other elements you can use, such as articulation, tone color, and tempo. So those are some other elements that you can use for varying those in a scale. So I hope you can give it a shot, and I'd love to know your results. If you want to tell me if you struggled with it, or if you had success, or anything like that. Or if you have any questions, let me know. Love to hear from you. Thanks.